Hello everyone, welcome to Blue Dragon Universe, and this is Blue Dragon Actuarial channel. So today's topic is salary of a freshly qualified actuary, and I've seen many people, qualifying this time, and congratulations to them. I have already qualified, but my interaction with SA2 is as usual, and I have to continue with that. Right, so I want to clear SA2 because that's a challenge that has been put in front of me. I was not able to clear that instead of having knowledge and I have to kind of overcome that challenge. Otherwise, if I run away from this challenge, then in my life I will find excuse to run away all the time. So that's how important it is for me to kind of clear this too. Now before we go into this topic, which is salary of a freshly qualified, actually we already have a video in my channel, couple of years, I think 1 year back, in which you can see every salary of actuaries by designation. You can search that video in my channel. That is the most watched video in my channel, right? So that should figure out in the popular video series. Also, if you go to our, if you go in the description, you will find the website, and there is a, if you are new to actual world, there is a course called, which is a free course. We have not charged anything for that. And if you want to know about actuary, then that is the course you should enroll for, and you can know about that course, right? I think many people has enrolled for that course. I have sometime I'm surprised to see even experienced people have enrolled for those course. We are just doing some analytics. And another two things maybe that I'm going to touch upon is many queries have come to me related to kind of the Sparkle One course, right? And when it is launching. So we are still stuck in some administrative work right now. We have done the GST. Now we have to open a current account, and then current account has to be verified, etc., etc. Then there will be a payment gateway integration. So until unless that happens, I am not going to launch in a new course. Of course, you can purchase the old course through the UPI, kind of UPI payment gateway, but I don't want the Sparkle course to have any difficulty in payment, so that people would, may not purchase the course just for that difficulty, right? So I don't want that to happen. So it's okay if we don't launch any course for next 6 months, and we take all of this time to kind of sort out the administrative difficulties on the government related difficulties, then that is okay. But once we kind of come back with all those all the courses, then it should be quality, right? Obviously we represent quality, that's why we are here. But other than that, I feel that there should not be any hindrance, like the payment is not happening or someone is having some difficulty. I don't want to, once I get a feedback, I act on that. So instead of asking me about the course, right? Because maybe sometime I'll be busy, and I might also take a break from LinkedIn for some time. So I feel that you should be following this page. This is our official page, Blue Dragon Universe in LinkedIn. Right now there are 554 followers, and I hope in next couple of years it would grow to 5,54,000. So I hope you can do that, and please kind of follow this page, right? Because any uh, course that will be creating any update would be from this, from this page. You can also message on this page. I'll also put this page or link in the contact us section in the website in some time, right? So you should follow this page, right? If you are interested in whatever service or product Blue Dragon or courses Blue Dragon Universe is going to bring to you, because we have huge plans related to AI, coding, not only related to the actual papers. Obviously, that would be part of Blue Dragon Universe. But where we distinguish ourselves from others is we are the expert. We don't need or hire 1 year experienced people as expert, calling them expert, and do a course. We are actually people who are expert, who maybe those people who are called expert by other coaching centers learn from us. So we sound a bit arrogant, but that's how it is. So I feel and I hope that you are able to recognize that quality, and that's the reason you are following us. So instead of having just plain vanilla actual papers, you will be having something else as well, which will be helping you in your actual journey. Right? So that's the main purpose, right? And hopefully you will be able to appreciate all of those updates would come through this, this page. And whatever your query is or whatever interaction with Blue Dragon Universe is, that should happen through this page instead of happening through me. Obviously, it will take some time, but I mean that is how it is going to be. So I'll maybe after some time maybe after this Jan, if someone asks me about those courses, I'll kind of redirect them to this page, and they need to message here instead of messaging me, because this is looked after by many people, not only by me, and they can respond to you real quickly, right? So moving to the topic, which is what is the salary of a freshly qualified actuary, right? And I think these days I have already made a video on deterioration in the quality of actual student. Many people who do not have the knowledge are qualifying as an actuary. That is a good thing for them, but that is a bad thing for the industry, and that practice should stop, right? And that's why we'll also see a kind of a decline in the salary of a freshly qualified actuary. So let's get into more detail of what we are going to see and what the salary would be, right? So who are freshly qualified actually? Someone who has qualified in last 1 year, that person, right? And don't have work ex more than 5 years, maybe have work ex less than this, right? Especially in other countries, like in foreign countries, UK, you can go and join an MSc program where you get exemptions. So people qualify very, very quickly, right? And I will also suggest that if you have the money, if you have the financial power, and if somehow your career got impacted, maybe for females, maybe you are busy with your child, 5 years gap or 6 years gap, then I think it's and if you have the financial capability, go visit those countries, stay there for 1 year, get the exemptions, come back, right? I think that is a good thing for you. I am also kind of creating some material on that, how you can do that, right? What are the process? I'll post a video on that. Anyways, moving on. Next is very proud of clearing actually. So these are people who have kind of who lack some quality, and they have kind of cleared the papers without that quality, and they have wrote some motivational post on LinkedIn. There are so many motivational posts I see these days that I have kind of spent my entire night without working, 5 years of tough journey, 20 years of tough journey, 10 years. So they try to make a motivational post of clearing actually, which is a good thing. Clearing actually is a big deal. I am not going to deny that, but and the way they write it is like that is their kind of their biggest achievement, right? And they're so happy to use this name using FIAI or FIA. Now I am also a qualified actually. I don't use that this designation. I don't say that what I do, you have to do the same thing. That is not correct, right? And that should not be forced upon anyone. But I mean, you need to think how you are going to distinguish yourself from other actuaries, because in few years this would be the case for maybe everyone. Many people will qualify as an actuary if something is not done about the issues that we are going to discuss in the future, I mean the further slides. But this would be very commonplace, right? Like the way the CA, kind of CA course has gone, or the MBA course has gone, or the engineer course have gone. Actually, is kind of following in the same direction, and that is also understandable, because if more people are not qualifying, more people will not register from these institutes, right? Like Institute of Actuaries of India or IFA, and if more people do not register, their revenue will not grow. So obviously, they would kind of qualify more and more people, right? But what you have to understand is, if you behave exactly like the way 20 other people are behaving, then that makes you all more the part of the herd, so you are not going to distinguish yourself from others, right? So all these are good, but if you think qualifying as an actuary is the biggest achievement of your life, then I don't think that is the right mindset, because you need to do a lot more than that in order to get to a good package, right? So moving on, in terms of knowledge, they themselves know that it's bookish. I have spoken with multiple people over last couple of days. I was just trying to understand their package, and and their knowledge level, and I feel that is bookish. Many people have forgotten the concepts. In fact, couple of days I was speaking with someone. She mentioned that she has forgotten what she has learned in CS1 and other papers, and that person has just by that exemption in UK, that person has got the degree. So they themselves know that their knowledge is not good, right? Which is a good thing. Which is a good thing. Self awareness is always good, right? But if you have not done anything to improve on that, then that's a bad thing. Then that is going to put you behind others. So moving on, Once again, they themselves know they do not have clarity in concept. Even in those bookish concepts, they do not have clarity. If annuity is a life insurance product or a pension product, people would not have that clarity. If you don't have clarity even after passing CM1, right, then there's something wrong with you. You have just passed an exam. You don't have the knowledge associated with that exam. And since this is a professional exam, you are supposed to retain those knowledge. If you are not able to retain those knowledge, that is once again not going to help you in your salary. Moving on, they themselves know if they appear for the exam next time, 9 out of 10 times they would fail. So this pass is a lucky pass. That's why they are so happy, because they themselves don't know whether why they have passed, right? And once again, by my definition of actuary, actuaries are the people who knows the why of something, right? Like I am not clearing SO2, so there is a reason for that. And I have to know why that is happening, because the moment I know the why, I'll be able to clear that, right? And 9 out of 10 times I'll be able to clear that, or 8 out of 10 times I'll be able to clear that. However, if I don't know the reason, right, then I'll not be able to clear that. Then it would be a luck or gamble, right? So, for most of the freshly qualified actuaries with that bracket of maybe 5 years, 3 years, right? And they also show off about that have cleared the actuary in 5 years. Does not matter. It's not a big deal. If I have to hire someone for my company, I'll not see if that person has cleared actually in 5 years or 3 years, because that would not add any value for me. However, what would add value for me if that person has the knowledge of someone who has worked for 5 years, even if that person has cleared actually in 3 years, or maybe that person has even more knowledge, maybe 15 years of knowledge, right? So that is very very important. Your actual concept, I made a video on that, and I've said that multiple times. Unfortunately for us, the average is very tough. The average is clearing all the papers. That is just an average or below average average, and that is for us that you have to be at that level to qualify as an actuary. But what makes us good or better or best is how we can use that bookish knowledge in our work and augment that with practical workings. Right. Otherwise, will be a very kind of poorly made or poorly created actuary, right? Then we'll write only motivational post in LinkedIn, and inside we will know that we are pretty much hollow. We do not have that much of clarity, or our knowledge is bookish. We can't solve a problem on our own. We will understand that ourselves, that we are not good in this in this department, but we just have cleared some papers because of something, because we have understood the exam pattern or something, right? That is not going to help us in our salary after freshly qualification, right? And now they look forward to 1 crore package. Now once they have kind of cleared the 15 papers or 13 papers, and they have qualified as a fellow, now they think that they would get 1 crore package. The problem with this approach is, just because you have cleared 13 papers and 15 papers, you are not going to get 1 crore package, because it's the rule of business. Business works on profitability. That is the most important metric, if your business is profitable or not, right? And even with this startups and everything, that metric has not changed at all, because sooner or later you are going to get caught, because there are many companies or startups that has opened, especially in India, which are not profitable. They just generate revenue, but they spend more than what they generate, and at the end of the day they are not profitable. So this kind of startups are kind of looked down upon these days, right? There was a phase when they were doing well, but then all these big startups like Byju's, or maybe there's so many names, right? I don't remember, or Grofers, etc. All of those are failing. Right? So you already know Paytm, right? All of these are failing. Nika, they have huge IPOs just because they have big revenues, but they're not doing well, right? So in terms of knowledge, your knowledge is level is not that great, although you have qualified, right? Which is the big problem that we are facing in the industry, right? And more and more, that problem is going to amplify, because people who have the knowledge, who are old, they are going to retire, right? And also people who have the knowledge in terms of theoretical knowledge or workings related knowledge, they are not learning new things. Like they are not learning the AI, they're not learning the new sort of type of coding. They're still busy in their profit model and learning the visual basic, etc. They're not learning anything new. So the older generation is not learning anything new, because they believe that they're too old or they have too much knowledge. Then the younger generation just passes the exam and are happy with passing the exam and posting motivational post on LinkedIn. The problem is all this will never lead to that 1 crore package. Moving on, now industry phase right now, industry is going through consolidation. You know that couple of months back there was a company called Excite Life, which is non-existent right now, right? So industry is going through that consolidation after financial coming out of financial difficulties. COVID related business growth is factored in. Now when COVID happened, there are many people who are purchasing insurance for the right reason, because insurance is meant for protection, not for saving. And right now that has been factored in, that has died down. Now the people are again purchasing insurance product, especially life insurance product, for tax benefit, right? So that is a very wrong approach to purchase insurance. But that is once again the financial difficulty or the COVID related factors that has died down, right? I don't see that impulse anymore. On 1 year back that impulse was there, so a lot of policies have been sold at that point of time, but now once again those are dying, the renewal premiums are decreasing, and all these are kind of present in the data. You can, if you check the industry, the financials, right, of maybe companies which are listed like SBI Life, HDFC Life, you will be able to see those. Now, India is moving to a new tax regime where there would be simple tax structure. So you'll have a couple of brackets and there will be no tax reduction. And that would mean that ATC of the Income Tax Act of India would be completely removed, where we'll get that exemption for life insurance premium, right? And other exemptions that might be completely removed, especially if the current government comes back into power in 2024. There is a high chance, not in this budget, but maybe in the next budget, that would happen, because right now the new tax regime is the default tax regime. And even when the new tax regime was made default tax regime, life insurance companies fell like anything, and only now they have, in this bullish momentum, they're kind of coming back to their previous price level, right? So if in the current budget they might again take a hit if ATC is removed altogether, but this is going to happen if the current government comes into power, and all those life insurance companies would face a severe drop in their revenue because of this tax rule getting over. And if that happens, the industry, which is already kind of going through consolidation, lack of revenue, lack of renewal premium, would also see a reduction in the new business premium, and that is not good for you, right? That is not good for any, actually. So most foreign players are looking to exit India, and some foreign players are also looking to enter India, but to open their KPO, right? But to use India as a cheap labor, but they are not looking to get business in India, right? They are looking to reduce their expense. There's a difference between these two. One is following the profit path, another is reducing the expense path, right? Reducing the expense path is making India a service-oriented economy, which can help actuaries, right? But once again, that would not generate revenue or maybe new companies in India, right? That's a problem, right? So it's a dualist sword. One way it can benefit Indians because or the actuaries in India, because many new companies will establish their KPO here, right? But and the other way, if the joint ventures die down, then then this KPOs has to kind of cater for people who are in the core sector right now, and they would also have to move into this sector, the KPO sector. Or in any case, the KPO sector pays higher than the core sector, so also the newly qualified or freshly qualified actuaries will face difficulty moving there, because people who are some a bit of experienced, with even without the qualification, would probably kind of be given preference above people who do not have that knowledge, right? So that's why knowledge is very, very important. Clearing paper and posting motivational post in LinkedIn does not help you at all. However, if you can kind of post a kind of a knowledge related thing on LinkedIn, you might not get too many likes and reactions there, but that might help you, right? People should know that you have knowledge, or that should be your show off rather than showing off that you have passed an exam. That does not help. Moving on, demand and supply. Extreme congestion at the fresher level, that is even present now. And cheating and coalition answers. Coalition answers means that five people are sitting to clear an exam, or people are using Chat GPT to kind of clear exams. And Institute of Actuaries of UK has already announced that they would move to a different exam system. It is not going to be implemented from April 24, but especially from September 24, it will be implemented. So they are also taking kind of note of this. So this sort of cheating and coalition would come into an end, hopefully by September 24. A number of companies are reducing, its opportunities are also reducing, right? Especially for the freshly qualified, actuaries, like I mentioned, right? So that is why in future there will be many undeserving qualified actuaries. And why future? Even now there are many undeserving qualified actuaries, and probably people who have worked there, or people who are kind of listening to this video or seeing this video, and they themselves know that they are undeserving but qualified actuaries, right? So that's, they already understand that. It's just that they don't realize, or maybe accept that about themselves, right? So we are going to a situation where the demand is going to decrease, where there would be lower revenue, and at the same time, the people with lower quality are becoming qualified actuaries because of the reasons that we have already kind of discussed, right? So what would happen, right? So the current salary level, which I have seen for this sort of people, based on the discussions, is varying between 25 lakhs to 35 lakhs for a freshly qualified actuary, and exceptional cases have salaries above 50 lakhs. So that's what I have seen. Very few cases have salaries above 50 lakhs, and I can tell you that even today 50 lakhs is a very good package for India, right? Especially in metropolitan cities. So that is good, right? And sooner or later, all the companies are going to follow. Other companies like TCS, Infosys, and they are going to introduce a hybrid model. So right now 50 lakhs would be slightly better, because your inflation related to, or your expense related to, petrol would come down a bit as compared to the previous time. So that is good. Many companies provide cabs. Some of these companies provide cabs free of cost. So that is going to help, right? But this is the range that you are going to see, right? And only qualified actuaries with quality experience will inch towards 1 crore. I can tell you, for me, even much before qualification, like right now I'm not working, but if I work somewhere, my package would be more than this 1 CR, and even before qualification my package was more than 50. And I made a video on that. You can see that. I cannot reveal my exact package because I have some you know clause with different companies, but I can give the range, and that is because of the level or quality of knowledge, right? So if I have quality of knowledge, I don't have to worry about that, because, or worry about any salary, because people will interact with me and people will understand that, yeah, this person has knowledge, so they would give me what I deserve, right? But if you do not have knowledge, and if you just clear 15 papers and posting motivational thing on LinkedIn, people will not get motivated by that to give you salary, right? That's the hard fact. Moving on, remaining will forever be stuck between 50 lakh to 1 crore. Now I was kind of talking to a couple of people, and they think that every year they are going to kind of grow, and if their salary is going to grow even by 10%, if they are kind of getting some salary, they will eventually reach 1 CR. There are multiple problems with this approach, because this consolidation is not only happening in India, but it is happening all over the world. Life insurance, general insurance, these are not getting that much revenue. Life insurance is, in fact, doing pretty badly as compared to general insurance. So I feel that this assumption that everything will happen like it has happened in the past, and even a 10% increment you will get to 1 CR package at after certain age. I don't think that package will happen. If consolidation happens, people will get fired, and you might be one of them, right? And it might then, and there be a situation where a freshly qualified actually, because of the demand supply mismatch, would be jobless, right? So only people with quality experience would get a job, and people who are not, who do not have that quality, like same thing that happened for MBA or engineers, and now it is happening for CA, and maybe few years down the line that same thing will happen for actuaries as well, right? So, and also 1 CR right now in few years might be equivalent to 5 CR, right? So then 1 CR, if everyone get 1 CR, then 1 CR loses its value, right? So once again, you have to be separate from the herd. If you are part of the herd and the herd is getting 1 CR, then you would want 5 CR because you have better ability, right? And then you have to target much higher package. So it's 1 CR is just a figurative number that is pushed by the coaching center. And by the way, if someone has any evidence of any coaching center doing such malpractices, showing that, or kind of sharing that you qualify as an actuary, you'll get 1 CR package, right? If you have some evidence for that, and you can pass that to me, maybe over LinkedIn or in the blue, the page that I showed you, Blue Dragon, and I am willing to take some action against those, because I think many people are being misled by multiple coaching centers, right? And I have heard the names of couple of those, but without evidence, I'm not going to call out the name. So if that is happening, that is a very kind of unfortunate thing that is happening. People are being misled. At the same time, you should be kind of intelligent enough to understand that that thing cannot happen, right? Only way a business can give you 10 crore or 2 crore or 3 crore or whatever package, if you can earn that business more than that. Maybe if a business is giving you 1 CR package, you have to earn 10 crore for that business, right? Because as I mentioned, the most important metric in a business is profitability, right? So just to give an example, this is a LinkedIn post someone posted, and this post is related to London, right, or UK. And someone who is working in London, they are getting a salary of 85,000 pound, right? That in Indian currency would come down to be 90 lakhs approximately, right? And you can understand, or you can uh, maybe see from this, if in UK, which is much more costly, I would believe it is 3 to 4 times more costly as compared to India. If in proper London, I think that London is the costliest city probably in the world. I don't remember the statistics, but or maybe one of the costliest city. And if there are freshly qualified actuary, and along with that, the person is asking for experience in actual change or model development. If you do not have this experience, then you are not going to get this, right? So you need to have some experience, and along after that, if you are a newly qualified, actually you are getting around 90 lakhs. So you can divide that by 4 or 3 and understand what package you will get that in India, right? So anyone who is kind of sharing 1 crore package, a freshly qualified actual get, he or she is lying to you, and that's why if you have evidence, share that with us, right? Can take action against those, because that is something that should not be propagated in the actual industry. So I think you get the idea of what package you are going to get: 25 to 35 lakhs if you are a freshly qualified actually, with some maybe 3 to 4 or 5 years of work ex, right? Of course, if your quality of work ex is great and you are at the right place at the right time, then this package is going to increase a lot, right? Like I mentioned, for myself, this does not matter to me. This average salary level does not matter to me, because I always take a lot of pride in being away from the herd or not being part of the herd. But if you are part of the herd, then that's up to you, right? So what type of actuaries would get package, and what would be the model in future? Now this is something that I probably make a separate video on sometime later. But I feel the borders will cease to exist. Actually get sort of outsourcing role, like instead of establishing a KPO, they will contact actuaries directly in India, something like for video editing or software development. There is a platform called Fiber. There are freelancers who are working there, and they are providing service, and they are earning for that. So instead of establishing a KPO, they can directly approach you, right? And actually gets this sort of contractual roles like 1 year, 2 year, and those would be very high package roles. Like maybe for 1 year contract, you'll get 1.5 CR if you are able to solve for the problem, right? And for that, you need a good portfolio of work. Only then they will select you, right? So once again, it boils down to quality of work. It's not to the number of papers you've cleared, because I can guarantee that 5 years down the line, there'll be way too many fellows, right? So what you do with your knowledge is important. Whether you are posting something on LinkedIn motivationally, or whether you are learning something, that would create the difference between a below average actuary and a good actuary, right? So make your choices. Moving on, I feel AI is the future. So I personally feel you have right now you have around 2 years. Learn AI, and if required, do not write any actual papers, but learn AI. If you can't do that, then you're already every 1 year you are going back 10 years. So after 2 years, if you and that's where the problem with the current knowledgeable generation of actuaries is people who are maybe working in the core sector at a higher designation. They are not learning this, or they are not getting the time to learn this, because that's how the core sector works. They do not have the revenue, say and that's why three people work has to be done by one person. So they do not have anything left in the tank when they go home, and because of that they cannot develop themselves even if they want to. So they are already going back, and 2 years down the line AI will seriously invade. Actually at that point of time, there is nothing that you much you can do, and those contractual roles will come to India, and only those who have the power of AI along with qualification in actually might do a lot better. Maybe even at that point maybe a 10 crore package would be possible for contractual role, but only for those people who have that ability. And finally, I feel that actuaries need to be problem solvers. Right now, we are process repeaters, right? Something that happen in both, like you do some same activity quarterly, right? Same thing happen in KPO as well. You do some quarterly reporting, pricing, same activity would be happening, kind of repeatedly. So it's right now it's the case of how better you can repeat as compared to the previous quarter, as compared to the previous generation, right? But now it would be a problem solving question, like for example, this is how you are going to price a new product, like or maybe a completely new AI driven product. So how are you going to kind of maybe price that product, right? So now you have to be think out of the box. You cannot be relying on the past process. Obviously you can take hints from that, but you cannot rely on the past process. Now you have to be more of a creative actually, right? You have to solve problem, which is where the AI comes into picture, right? So this is the future. You have to prepare for that. If you are, once again, I'll repeat the line. If you are qualifying and thinking that is the biggest achievement of your life, you are in for a shock, root shock. Maybe one day, even after qualification, even after working for a few years, you'll be fired from your job just because you are not keeping up with the contemporary times. So be very cautious. Take this video as a warning, and work on yourself. There is no point in posting that you have got 87 or 86 and passed CS1. That knowledge is already outdated. There is no point in posting that you have passed SA2 or SA7. That knowledge is already outdated. What you do with that knowledge and how you augment that knowledge with the contemporary knowledge, AI and other things, that would matter, right? Of course, if you are following Blue Dragon Universe, we are slowly and steadily going to bring all of those things, and we are going to create our proprietary course uh, related to actually investment, trading, coding, etc. So that is my ultimate goal. But I mean that will take some time, right? But if you are following us, then obviously that would be happening. But because we have some time limitations, if you want to develop on your own, these are the areas that you should kind of focus on. You need a vision and a very clear vision. Otherwise you are going to be left behind, right? So I hope with that I'll be I mean I'm done with this video. If there is obviously any question, anything that you want to understand, you can maybe you can ask us on our LinkedIn page or in the YouTube comment section. You can also go to our website and ask us from the contact us section, right? There are so many ways you can contact us. Just do not message me in the LinkedIn on my personal profile, right? So I would like to avoid that, and in future I would like to completely eliminate that, right? So we have channels where you can comment, or where you can direct your questions. So please use those channels and please follow those pages like I mentioned, right? So thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed, or if you agree with me, so please hit the like button. If you disagree with me, you can write that, you can comment about that, and you can give proper logic why you disagree with me. Then I will also learn along with you, and we'll get to see a different perspective, right? And share this video with your friends, and see you in future videos.